We're looking at a photo taken from the pancreas, and this is the microscopic view of the pancreas. So we're going to examine essentially the histology of the pancreas. Now, you need to be able to identify some distinctive features from this photo. First off, remember that the pancreas is a mixed gland. It is both endocrine and exocrine. The exocrine function is to produce pancreatic juice, which is used for digestive purposes. And the endocrine function is mainly to produce insulin and glucagon, which are your two main hormones that regulate blood sugar. So the exocrine portion of the pancreas is made up of many cells known as pancreatic acini cells. In fact, the majority of the cells that you're seeing on this photo are pancreatic acini cells, and they are producing pancreatic juice, which will empty into the pancreatic duct and then eventually make its way into the digestive tract. So we're going to label all of these kind of cuboidal purple cells as our pancreatic acini cells. So it's essentially just all of these cells that you see in the middle. So here and here and here, you can kind of see they're pinkish in color and they've got a really dark purple nuclei to them. These are our acini cells, okay? Now, if we look on either side of those numerous acini cells, we see there's two distinctive features that stand out over here on the left and on the right. Now, on the left, that pink circle that you see, that's actually a blood vessel. The pancreas is quite vascular, receiving a good blood supply so that these cells stay nice and healthy, and also so those hormones that are being produced can make their way into the bloodstream and continue in circulation to their target cells. So to the left, that pink circle that you're looking at is a blood vessel. Specifically, it's an artery. Over on the right is the endocrine group of cells known as the pancreatic islet, or the islets of Langerhans. So this lighter area here, I'm going to underline it, and I'm just going to draw a dotted line around that circle just to bring your eye to it so you know where I am here on this photo. You can tell it's lighter in color. There's more background to it. There's more intracellular space between these two, or between the many cells that are there. And again, this circle that you see is known as the pancreatic islets, or the islets of Langerhans. Now, you're just looking at a section of the pancreas. The pancreas has many of these islets intermingled all along in that organ. So even though you're just seeing one in this photo, and there's actually another one, it's quite small, but there's another little guy right here. You can kind of see him. Even though you're only seeing one or two of these pancreatic islets, in reality, there's many of them scattered throughout the entire pancreas. And it's the islets of Langerhans that are producing insulin and glucagon. Now, one other thing you need to be able to recognize are the cells that are producing insulin and glucagon. These are called alpha and beta cells. The alpha cells reside on the edge of the circle. Now, this microscope image is not at a high enough magnification for us to tell the difference between an alpha and a beta. So what we're going to go by is location. Cells that are on the edge of the circle, those are your alpha cells. So I'm just going to draw a few arrows here, bringing your eye to the edge of that circle. So just here on the edge, on the outskirts, and we're going to identify these as your alpha cells. And again, the alpha cells produce glucagon. Glucagon raises your blood sugar when it begins to drop. The middle cells, and the most numerous, are known as beta cells, and these are the ones that produce insulin. So all of these cells here in the middle, I'm going to draw a couple of arrows just pointing to the center of the circle. These collectively are known as your beta cells, and I'm going to bring that label down right here. Beta cells, and these again are responsible for producing the insulin, okay? So how you may see this on test is I will have a photo of the pancreas, and I may simply ask you, what is this organ or what is this gland? And you be able to recognize, oh, that's the pancreas. You'll see many of these acini cells, and then maybe some circles, one or two of the pancreatic islets. Be able to recognize that as the pancreas. I also may ask you some of these specific structures. So I may have an arrow going to the islet, or I may have arrows just out in the space around the islet. You'll identify those as the acini cells. And if I have arrows within the islet of Langerhans, if I'm on the edge, alpha cells, and if we're in the center, beta cells.